Good afternoon, everyone. So let me show you first introduction of what we are. So first, just a bit of history. CF is the acronym for Gear Factory, and it was created by creators of the Zeppelins. Better? Okay. So the company was created in 1950 by the Baron Ferdinand Zeppelin. This was the factory to make the gearbox for his Zeppelins. And since then, it started making transmissions, which was still the main product that we have in the company. Through the time, it grew joining companies like Lemforder, manufacturer of suspension and steering systems. Then Sachs, manufacturer of suspension systems as well. In 2011, bought Hansen. Hansen is a manufacturer of gearboxes for aeolic electric generators, which today makes us to be the largest manufacturer of gearboxes for all the aeolic generators. In 2015, acquired TRW, manufacturer of airbags, seat belts, steering wheels, brake systems, steering and suspension, and very important, electronic for autonomous driving. And recently, in 2020, bought WAFCO, manufacturer of truck or commercial vehicle components, making today CF to be the largest supplier of the commercial vehicles industry. The reason why to buy these two latest companies is because back in 2010, CF had sales of around 60% of its sales were dependent of internal combustion engine vehicles. So we knew that the electric vehicles were coming, and if the company didn't change, the company was in problems. So first, it had to move into electricity. It had to move into different sectors to reduce that. Today, CF sales, 27% still or belong to internal combustion engine vehicles. But we are moving very quickly into the e-mobility and to autonomous driving, as you will see further on. Just as a financial overview of the company, sales of almost 40 billion euros per year, which make us the third largest auto part manufacturer in the world. In North America, we are number 2. We have 157,000 employees, but very important, you can see what the company invests in research and development, 3.1 billion last year. I want to show you a video, but I don't know why it didn't came through. Here is it.
Mobility means change. Change needs mobility. This is what we at ZF believe and use to orient ourselves towards a transforming future. We are driving our next generation mobility strategy forward with great passion on all levels. We operate worldwide. We are an innovative, responsible, and reliable partner to our customers and our employees. Our mission is to create a new harmony between the reality of mobility and our life aspirations. We call it Mobility-Life Balance. Our strategy for the implementation of this mission is Next Generation Mobility. Automated and autonomous driving are important developments that help make the traffic of the future safer, more efficient, and more comfortable. We are an attractive partner when it comes to their realization. Electric mobility. Today, we already offer electric drives for almost every means of transportation and heavy equipment. We at ZF are constantly growing our e-mobility division. Vehicle motion control. When developing any kind of vehicle, the chassis has a key role to play. ZF offers the highest competence when it comes to developing control units for optimized brakes, steering, and suspension. Integrated safety. To ZF, safe mobility means helping to protect all road users as effectively as possible. Safety technology from ZF can help prevent accidents or mitigate their consequences. ZF is setting the course for faster and enhanced software development by bringing its software engineering processes, methods, and solutions to speed. ZF supplies systems for passenger cars, commercial vehicles, and industrial technology, enabling the next generation of sustainable mobility. With our comprehensive portfolio, we offer integrated solutions for vehicle manufacturers, mobility providers, and startup companies. We are a responsible and reliable partner of society, our business associates, and our employees. We operate in a long-term and sustainable manner. We are involved in educational projects worldwide. The ZF Art Foundation supports artists, musicians, and non-profit institutions. We strive to develop innovative and creative solutions. We think like entrepreneurs. We take risks where appropriate and learn both from successes and failures. We support and encourage our employees. We are open, curious, and agile. We are ZF.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. This chart shows you where we are present. As you can see, we have 188 production plants in 31 countries. But the important thing is we have 18 centers developing technology. And we're present worldwide. Now, what we do, as you saw in the video, we are in 4 technology domains. Traditional products like in vehicle motion controls, making brakes, steering system, and suspension systems. For integrated safety, making the airbags, seat belts, steering wheels, sensors, and all the electronics related to safety. And in electric mobility is the transition that we are doing from traditional powertrain to electric transmission systems or electric powertrain systems and automated driving. Now, why we're in these sectors is because the changes that is happening, not only in the market, it's only in the mindset of the people, is the need of the world. You will see, I'm going to present some charts showing the production worldwide of vehicles for the future. And you're going to see how it's not growing too much. And this is because, as Francisco just mentioned it, there are big changes in the way that the new generations think. One big change is that the new generations do not like to drive. That's one of the reasons of autonomous driving. And also, before we start these presentations here, we had a chat in which Andres Ochoa was mentioning. Right now in the United States, they have a lack of 150,000 drivers to move trucks, which is affecting all the logistics in the world. And that is pushing very strongly the autonomous driving for trucks because there is no drivers. People do not want to drive anymore vehicles. Also, in Europe, there is a very good transportation systems, public transportation. So why to buy a car when I can take a train, I can take a bus, wherever I need? Driving has become a distraction. So if the car can drive me, will be great. In the United States, you need to have a car. Otherwise, you cannot move. There is not good public transportation systems. But again, the people doesn't like to drive. So automated drive is a solution. And in the case of electric mobility, you will see what is happening in the world. Big trend pushing to move out of internal combustion engine vehicles. So talking about autonomous, there are 5 levels of autonomy in the vehicles. Level 0, where there is nothing, that you have absolutely responsibility and control on the vehicle. Level 1 requires the driver assistance. You can take off your feet. It's the typical cruise control system. There are some systems that assist, like cameras, guiding the vehicle to stay on the line, telling you that when you are moving out of the line, but at the end you have control of the vehicle and requires you to have hands on the wheel, and you have to have completely attention to the road. On level 2, there is partial automation. The system can allow the vehicle to move by itself in special lines, but the vehicle is not 100% proof. So you need to have full-time eyes on the road and be ready to take control of the car. This is a typical case of Tesla. Tesla is not absolutely a car that you can trust that will take you without any problem. And that's why there's been many accidents. If you have driving an autopilot on a Tesla, you have to have your eyes on the road. On a level 3, there is a special roads where you can do it. Like it was mentioned before, in San Francisco, there is one of these roads. Also in Germany, around Munich, there is one of these roads where you can not pay attention all the time. But if the vehicle needs you to take control of the vehicle, you have something between 5 to 10 seconds to take control of the vehicle. So the driver has to be ready to take control. Level 4, this is completely automated vehicle. But the driver has the option, today I want to drive, today I do not want to drive. And level 5, it's what is called the robotaxi. There is no driver position. It's only passengers. So this is the full automated vehicles. And this is marked the red, the 3-4 red squares. Is where we are working right now with the different systems. This chart shows you a traditional engine with its transmission and what will be a chassis of an electric vehicle. But below, you can see over here, every little square, it's an electronic control unit. So you can see how many electronic control units a car has. And the change, it's moving into central computers controlling the whole vehicle. Right now in CF, we have the most powerful computer for the car that controls all the electronic needs in the vehicle. And that's because to be in a full automated driving condition, you need that. One central computer that controls absolutely the vehicle. Now, let me show you the forecast scenarios. This chart shows you the trend of what's happening in the world. In the 3 main vehicle production centers. First is the European. Right now, last week, it was approved that by 2030, 55% of all the vehicles manufactured in the European region must have some kind of electrification, be full electric or be hybrid. But by 2035, has to be 100% electric, no hybrid, no internal combustion vehicles. In the United States, they have, President Biden was pushing to have 50% to up to 60% electrified vehicles by 2030. But by 2035, California right now is in the process to get the approval, expected to have it by August. They want to have 100% electrified vehicles, in which around 20% of them can be a high level of hybrid vehicles. And in China, or in general in Asia, it's very close to what Europe is doing. 60% kind of electrified vehicles by 2030, and 100% by 2035 electric vehicles, no hybrids, no internal combustion. So this is something that is happening, but we are looking at trends that is pushing that maybe by 2023, it be some anticipation of what this is happening. Last week, Volkswagen, Daimler announced that they want to have 100% electrified their production of vehicles by 2030. Okay, this chart shows the world production. To give you an idea, in 2018, the world production was around 94 million. It fell down in 2020 to around 69. Last year, 75 million vehicles produced in the world. The gray area is the internal combustion vehicles. Then the following light blue is the mild hybrid. Mild hybrid is those vehicles that have a big battery, like they can have auto-stop systems, and a little help in the transmission to make it hybrid to electric in reverse, or very, very light electric, just like the start of the motion. The light next step is the blue one, which is the hybrid vehicles that you see many of them, like the Ford Escape or the Toyota's hybrid vehicles, in which the vehicle starts in electric motion, and it can be driven few kilometers, up to 10, maybe 15 kilometers electric, but there is no charging point in the car, so the car auto-charges using the internal combustion engine. Then the dark blue, it's the plug-in hybrid, which is vehicles like the BMWs, some Daimlers, even some Audis have these systems, in which you can plug your car at home, get charged, and use it with a longer range, maybe up to 30, 40 kilometers. And then the red is the full electric vehicles. And you can see how it's growing every time more. The green line, which is almost zero, it's the fuel cells, hydrogen, which has, Francisco mentioned it, it's not feasible for cars, for light vehicles, only for heavy commercial vehicles. But also you can see the growth that is capped at 101, 102 million vehicles and stays there. It doesn't grow anymore. 5 years ago, the expectation is the market to grow up to 125 million vehicles per year. It's not anymore there. But also you can see by 2035 how 84 million vehicles are electric. And hybrid, very few, and only 9 million will be internal combustion engines for only certain markets, like maybe Africa, maybe Latin America, some countries in Asia, maybe Mexico. But the market is coming smaller and smaller. This chart shows the same, but in percentages, and also in each of the different areas. So in our case, the important one is North America. Again, by 2035, 98% of the vehicle production will be electric. And this chart gives you an idea when it's the break-even point. 2028, 50% of the vehicle production in the world will be electrified, being full electric, battery electric, or some kind of hybrid. Now, I'd like to tell you what are we doing in Mexico and what is what we're doing here in Monterrey. Today, we have 18 plants in the country. We are the largest German employer with around 25,000 people employed. We are building, we have right now a big shared service center here located in Monterrey, which is part of our project and where we have localized a lot of our treasury functions and human resources, payroll, IT, and very important, purchasing. We have the task to have 80% of our content to be made in North America, but mostly in Mexico. So that's why we have localized a huge purchasing group here in Monterrey. And our R&D center, also here in Monterrey, which I'll explain more about it. So this chart shows where our plants are located. Most of the divisions are here, except the industrial division is not, doesn't have plants in Mexico, but all of the rest of our divisions, they have plants here. And you have up at the right side, the Monterrey Tech Center and plant. This campus that we are having construction in Monterrey has one characteristic. It's a multi-function and it works for all the divisions that we have in Mexico. The plant that we're doing makes high-tech electronics and safety devices. Mostly is cameras. Very high-tech camera is the camera that goes in the windshield, just behind the mirror, and is detecting everything that happens in front of the car. It's one of the most important pieces for the automated driving. And our tech center is the main function, is dedicated to autonomous driving technology development. So this is our first tech center dedicated for autonomous driving only. Well, that was the main idea at the beginning, and now it's going to be doing a lot more than that. So right now our time frame is that by March 2023, our offices, shared service center, and R&D center will be ready, and the plant should be in production as well. So this shall show some of the products, the S-Cam for the automated driving, and as well, one of the changes in the products is the braking system. Today, for a brake system, you have a booster, you have a master cylinder, but electric engines do not can generate vacuum, so there is no booster anymore. So it's a motor, and it's integrated in one unit. It's the master cylinder, the ABS unit, the stability control system. But this system needs its electronic control unit, and this electronic control unit is going to be manufactured here in Monterrey. One characteristic of all of our operations around the globe is we have to have, or has to be designed towards zero emissions. Our task is to be CF, a zero emission company by 2040. So all the processes, everything is designed towards this direction. And our tech center is going to be supporting all of the systems that we build in Mexico for all the different products, all the different divisions. And in the engineering activities, we'll be doing ADAS, which is part of the automated driving, software systems, hardware and optics algorithms testings and validations, etc. For the electric or e-mobility, we'll be supporting inverters and electric motors, software, hardware, simulation and design. For active safety, which is the brakes, steering, suspension, we'll be doing the ECUs, active brake and stability, softwares, functional safety. For suspension systems, same, engineering and design. And for passive systems, we'll be doing the system test and validation for the airbags, seat belts, and steering wheels, sensors. So what's next is inviting to everyone, all the students from all the universities here in Monterrey to join us. This concludes my presentation.